We worked really hard to keep people safe, first and foremost. Our staff, our attendees, the hotel staff, table stakes, and we felt really good about the protocols going into it. And then from there, we have to make sure that it's a great show. There's a lot of work that goes into it, but I think our attendees really enjoyed it. I just heard person after person just saying how important it was to have that human connectivity again, that the Code Conference does like no other. I love to think that we're the preeminent conference in tech. Kara and team bring it every year, and they certainly did this year.
Right. I guess it kind of leads to the question of what are the follow-throughs to corporate travel, right? And even to return to the office right now, because there's so many dislocations, and you can pick a chart on vacancy rates and make all kinds of arguments.
Yeah, I think, different companies have to go through slightly different things. I mean, the key thing is keeping everyone safe no matter where you are, right? And then if you can do that, different companies have different needs for collaboration. We at Vox Media have a policy that works for us right now where we are allowing people into the office if they're vaccinated. We have caps. We had caps on how many people can come in. We recently just lifted those caps. We will reevaluate things in January once we have a better understanding of the variant and where things are going.
Let's talk about the digital ad market a little bit, or just the ad market in general. There's been a lot of discussion this year about inventory shortages and supply chains, and if you don't have enough product to sell going into the holiday, why would you need to advertise at all? Are you sensing that kind of nervousness?
Well, thankfully, it's been a really strong year for Vox Media and working with our advertising partners. Like the pandemic year, particularly the second quarter last year, was obviously tough, financially tough in bigger ways, but tough in the ad market. But we've rebounded in a really strong way. And so we don't see as much of, we don't see that weakness caused by the supply chain. We're kind of operating on all cylinders. I think what is important in the digital ad market, though, is making sure that you have scale, making sure that you have quality in terms of the actual ads and the products that you could give your marketers, but also making sure they perform well. And, we have worked really hard to achieve those things. And so I like to think that we're getting more than our fair share as a result.
I would argue, we talked about this a bit during the break, that of all the topics of discussion here, policy-wise, company-wise, it's been about Facebook to a large degree. And whether it's the journal series on their documents or taking a pause on Instagram Kids, it's hard to get away from them as a topic of discussion.
Yeah. Well,
what you're thinking about where they stand right now?
I know, CNBC has done some great reporting. We at The Verge and New York Magazine and Vox, we do a lot of reporting on them as well. And so, what strikes me about Facebook, obviously the kid stuff that is coming out, as a parent and as a human here, like we all care about that immensely. I'll speak, since we're on a business network, I'll speak to more the business side, which is one thing that Facebook has not been able to demonstrate for a lot of on the business side is if you look at these other platforms that are also big tech monopolies or tech platforms, they have at least spawned other big businesses. For instance, the Apple platform has the app platform. Amazon has its marketplace. Google enables discovery of things. So while they've created a lot of disruption, they have built up other businesses themselves and act as partners accordingly. We have trouble kind of finding that same level of partnership at times with Facebook. I think you could extend that to the public policy realm as well, that notion of transparency, of working together to build something. There's a lot of issues to be settled in tech, but I think Facebook in particular has to work on that kind of partnering spirit, whether it's in the public policy realm, in the business realm, et cetera.